Hi, I'm David with Media Unlocked, and today we're going to be talking about the Cowboy Studio transmitters and receivers. They are 4-channel. They're about $30 for one set like this, and they work pretty good. Now, if you don't, the reason you get something like these is one, if you don't have the money to go out and buy like a radio popper or a pocket wizards, because those are pretty expensive, but you still want to do some flash photography. I'm gonna be also showing you guys how to just hook them up to like my 430. Hook these two up. It works really well. Outside, I'd say you probably get maybe 50 to 100 feet before your radios kind of drop off, and they don't misfire too often. The worst part about the Cowboy Studios are they are made in, I believe, like China or Japan, and they're really cheap plastic. So pieces like your hot shoe piece right here, it will break off, so you can't fit it in the hot shoe, right? I have one, show you right now, where it's kind of falling apart, but it's still pretty cheap for all things considered. If I spent maybe $80 on replacements and everything all together that I've spent on Cowboy Studios transmitters and receivers. And I've been using them for like a year and a half now. So $80 versus, well, to get a pocket wizard set up, I'm looking at like $800. So they're pretty nice. I'm also going to be setting it up with a Nikon D200. My mom let me borrow this. I've never shot Nikon, and she had a nice 85mm 1.8 that I wanted to mess around with. And I'm just trying to teach myself how to use Nikon. D200, it's a decent camera for what I can tell so far, but I've only had it for like 2 days, so I'm still going to do some more mess around with it. But a lot of people swear by Nikon. I'm a Canon guy, as you guys know, but I thought it would be fun to just at least know where some of the functions on the Nikons are. So I'm going to set up the two 430EXs and a 430EX2 on a set of Cowboy Studio transmitters and receivers, and I'm going to kind of show you guys how to do all that and how it works. So I'm going to start off with kind of explaining how the channels work on this thing. If you notice, you have little 1 and 2 numbered right here, and so if you want all of them to be on the same exact channel, you want all these to be numbered in the same. Kind of like if you look underneath this, it has one as well. So you want to make sure that your transmitter right here is set up at the same number as your receivers. You have an on and off button on these right here, if you notice, so you can turn it on and off. We can flip it to off right here, and then we can flip it to on. And the way you can double check it without even setting it up on anything is just by hitting this and not hitting this. And let's see if turn these on here. You really can't see it, but a couple of them are lighting off. These two may be out of batteries right here. I haven't checked them in a while. But if you notice some of the lights are going off, that's kind of an indication that they're synced up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put them on the flashes, and we're going to set up on the camera. So setting on the camera is pretty simple. You want to take one and the other and put them on. Batteries are back here as well. So, and then I'm just going to put on what I have as a little flash stand here. And so we're going to unscrew this, and there we go. So we have one on the flash. And let's set up a second one. Pretty simple stuff. It's kind of hard to get down to these and make sure that they're tightened in good. So you need to make sure they are tightened in, because sometimes they will slide out. See, that one slid out, so we make sure this is untightened all the way and retighten it down so it doesn't slide out in the middle of your shoot, which I've had happen a few times. Alright, so we'll take off two of the receivers. We'll leave the transmitter up here, And we'll put the flashes. Alright, so we're going to turn both of them on. We're going to make sure channels are the same. Channels are all set to the same. Alright, so we're going to turn the flashes on. Make sure that it's in manual mode if you can. So you want to make sure that your flash, if you can see that right there, it's set up into manual mode. You hit your mode button right here. And I'll put a link up right now for anybody that doesn't know how to use one of these EX430s. I've done a review on them and a breakdown of it. So you click the link up in the top right corner, and you can go kind of see how to work this flash unit. So now we got to turn it on. We're going to do the same with this one. Flip the on button. Set it to manual. Alright, so before we even take a picture, we got the receiver. And let me scroll up a little here. So there's both my flash units. Now technically they should go off. Like I said, you do have some misfiring problems, but for the most part it works pretty good. And if you notice, they both went off. And all I'm doing is I'm just hitting it. So I'm just testing it. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to put the receiver, or transmitter I should say, on the Nikon, and then you'll have a wireless setup. Alright, so we got the Nikon out, and we got the two flashes, and now what we're going to do is we're going to pop the transmitter on top of the Nikon's hot shoe. And once it's on there, tighten her down. Take the lens cap off. We got her set in a manual mode. And one thing I should mention that I do not like about the Cowboy Studios, while it just happened here, is if you notice you push this button, or if I was to take a shot right now, both of these units have fallen asleep, and that takes about a minute, and they fall asleep, and you have to go turn them on and off. So what you do is you go to the back of your flash will automatically turn off. So you could probably set your flash up to stay on a little bit longer than it does, but once your flash turns off, you got to go in, turn it on and off. I don't mind it because it's like a battery saver, so when they don't go off, I just go around and turn them all on and off again. So they should be, so there they go. So now what we're going to do is we got connected to the camera, so I'm just going to point up at something. And it can't keep up with the camera's speed, but you just have to gauge it for a second. So about every 3 or 4 seconds you can take a shot. So they're not the fastest thing either. I mean, they're not the Cowboy Studios are not the fastest thing, but they're great for low budget photography. I use it professionally. I just don't see why I would want to spend the money on pocket wizards or radio poppers when I can use this setup for under $80, and that's after ordering a couple new units that I have been defaulty. I just don't understand why I wouldn't use these. I don't need the pocket wizards or the radio poppers right now. I have a couple extra just in case one breaks. I throw another one in there, and so they're great. And like I said, check the link below, and you can see where you can order these if you want to get yourself a set of these Cowboy Studios. I would probably rate them about a 5 or a 6 out of a 10. And that is my review on the Cowboy Studio transmitter receiver wireless triggers for your camera. Thank you very much, and this has been David with Media Unlocked. Check us out on Twitter at DAVIDDIMAGES to keep up with all the new news coming. Something I just want to tell you guys out there, I'm doing a tutorial with a guy named Neil Kesterson. He is a 25-year veteran in the audio field, and we're going to do a small series on the beginning to end on how to shoot audio in your low budget films out there, or people that are just looking into getting shotgun mics, lavs, what they do, kind of what they are. The first video is going to kind of be an introduction to Neil, and then we're going to go over the different types of audio, audio recording devices, kind of like your shotgun mic or your lavs, your condenser mics, other different types of mics, studio mics. What's the difference? Why should you get them? Why shouldn't you get them? what's the price range you should be looking to spend them at. But it's going to kind of be a step through. So I believe we're going to be putting up the series every Saturday. I'll be putting up a video for at least the next couple weeks is the plan. And I hope you guys enjoy. Anyways, for any new and updated information, check us out at Twitter again at DAVIDDIMAGES.